Back to the Jordan Report, and I'm your host, Robert Jordan. Everyone, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. All right, guys, let me say, everyone, do not count Trump out, okay? I know it looks bad right now, but Trump has survived these last 4 years by being 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of his enemies. He's a counterpuncher, people. So Trump will have something ready for this. He saw this coming way back long ago, and he has to have something ready for it. Trump has never been caught flat-footed by these people, and he has not been caught flat-footed now. So let me show you what's going on. This was back in June. Trump, foreign countries will print millions of mail-in ballots in scandal of our times. He saw this coming, people. So you have to know he has something ready for them. President Trump launched another attack on mail-in voting Monday morning, claiming that foreign nations would print millions of mail-in ballots. Okay, again, this is back in June. Here's what he tweeted. Rigged 2020 elections. Millions of mail-in ballots will be printed by foreign countries and others. It will be the scandal of our times. Okay? The president's subsequent post said 2020 would be the most rigged in U.S. history due to mail-in ballots unless this stupidity is ended. Now, you can't be any more clear than that. He knew this was coming, okay? Now, here's what happened on and about the same day. This was Trump did on about the same day. China Consulate General fire in Houston, documents burned before eviction, okay? This was going on the same day Trump just tweeted that. A fire was reported on Tuesday, July 21st, at the Consulate General of China in Houston. Houston police told Fox News that the fire was caused by people at the consulate burning classified documents before an eviction that's happening on Friday. I'm going to show you the local news clip. The fire was reported around 8 p.m. Tuesday night at the Consulate General of China in Houston. Police said they received reports that the documents were being burned, but at first it wasn't clear why. Local police later told Fox that the classified documents were being burned because the consulate was being evicted from the building. Police told Fox to ask President Donald Trump or the U.S. State Department why the consulate was being evicted. He had just threw these people out of Houston, and I think 5 more other consulates, okay, on this day. So that's what was going on, and Trump was ahead of this, okay? Now let me show you what they just sent over here from China, okay? This was an article that was in a Chinese newspaper. This is a parcel package from a Chinese delivery company, like their Federal Express service. Only it's in Atlanta. This is an Atlanta counting center, excuse me. But the parcel is from China, and they don't have a right to deliver here. Okay, it says very quickly, many ballots from the Chinese mail service Shunfeng Post were seen in videos of the polling stations. Okay, we know that Shunfeng Post does not have permission to work in the United States. So how did these bulletins get from China to the American counting centers? If these are ballots from Americans in China, they should have been sent to the United States by American embassies and consulates in China, and therefore could not have been sent by Shunfeng Post, a company that has no operations in the United States. So it's worth looking into the history of these ballots. And the only explanation would be that the Chinese Communist government is lurking behind the scenes, is pushing these ballots to the polls. Okay? Now here's the exact Chinese article that was reprinted. This is from China somewhere, I believe Hong Kong. All right, so this is their original article. We wouldn't have never seen this. They had to show us this. Okay, now let me show you the local news clip of the fire, then we're gonna get out of here.
News on the serious story coming here on the deterioration in U.S.-China relations. China confirming overnight that the U.S. ordered it to close its Houston consulate. This morning, the U.S. State Department said it directed the closure of the consulate in order to protect American intellectual property and America's private information. A spokesperson said the U.S. will not tolerate China's violations of our sovereignty and intimidation of our people. Confirmation came after Houston firefighters responded to reports of burning documents in the courtyard of the consulate. Bizarre. First responders arrived at the scene, didn't go into the property. Video shared by someone who lived nearby showed open bins with flames coming out of them. I mean, Eunice, they'd even use shredders. I mean, shredders, I guess you can sort of, put some stuff back together like a jigsaw puzzle, but burning is serious. Eunice.
Yeah, and I think the way it's being viewed here, especially on social media, is that the staff at the consulate were in a rush because of the U.S. order, which state media is saying was 72 hours. So there's been growing anger online about the way the Chinese staff have been treated. The Chinese Foreign Ministry described the U.S. order today as unprecedented and is now vowing countermeasures against what it described as a political provocation. The speculation here, which is quite popular and gaining traction, is that this is a move by President Trump as a distraction to blame China yet again, the way most people here see it, especially in the government, for ahead of the U.S. election. And another popular theory that's going around on Chinese social media is that the U.S. is trying to force China to allow more American diplomats to return to the country. The negotiations for their return has been very slow going, and only several American diplomats have been able to return. Now, the expectation at this point is that China will retaliate, and that would likely come in the form of the Chinese shutting down one of the U.S.'s consulates here. So, of course, the embassy is here in Beijing, but the U.S. has several consulates around the country. And just the Global Times editor-in-chief, as I mentioned, had said that the staff in Houston has 72 hours to close shop. And so if you are in one of the states that the consulate covers and have any business at that consulate, maybe you want to go in over the next several hours. This is like Alabama, Florida, Texas. It covers Puerto Rico. And what's a bit, I think, a little bit sad as well here is that that's been talked about a lot here, is that this was China's first consulate, established in 1979. When the diplomatic relations had just been established. So obviously the atmospherics around the relationship at that point were a whole lot more optimistic than they.
All right, guys. Do not feel bad, guys. Wait for Trump's counterpunch. It should be coming very, very soon.